So welcome everyone who managed to make it here today, and also those who managed to join online. The agenda today: Ajay Kumar will share what's new in Qlik. Then Craig Harper, who sent his apologies and sent the video of his presentation, he will talk about the impact of PRIS Act WA 2024 on Qlik Apps and generally data. And then will be a short presentation about the drill through hack, or how to make your applications, reports, dashboards, whatever you call them, trustworthy. So after that, at 6 p.m., we will continue at the bar downstairs. Anyway, over to you, Ajay. I'll stop sharing.
Sure. Thank you, Sergey. Hi, everyone in the room. Hi, I'm Ajay. I'm part of the Qlik pre-sales team. So today I will be taking you through what's new in Qlik. So this is like the Q3 update. My colleague Nabil and June, they did the Q1 and Q2 update, so I'll be following them on that. I have a legal disclaimer because some of the contents here are like kind of either in pipeline or in like a roadmap. So it's a legal disclaimer on. Okay. I'm not able to see everyone in the room, but I hope that everyone know about Qlik, and you might have used it in one or other, that is data or analytic form. So Qlik goes from the three basic concepts on like trust, context, and freedom. So you to get your data in a trusted layer, and then the context, adding it to all your analytics and AI capability, and having it freedom that you will be able to choose on what platform, how you want to use, either it is on-prem, cloud, whichever your data source you're looking at. So this is like kind of like an overall picture, like how Qlik works on. Usually many of you guys would have started with your dashboard and visualization. No Qlik as a Qlik View or Qlik Sense or like an analytic tool. But eventually Qlik have expanded more. So we are into analytic data, and also we do the agentic AI capability. And these are some of our customers. And the main thing what I have to bring it on here is under Gartner. So recently the Gartner, after the last session, so the Gartner for Analytic platform, Qlik is again a leader in the Magic Quadrant, and it's 16th year. And also there is a IDC MarketScape report, which came in very recently, where Qlik is also. Many people will be asking in this scenario that, hey, we have hyperscalers, or we have like kind of a warehouse or AA agent. Why don't we directly interact with them? Like I do like a one-to-one, I don't need the middle layer, I don't need the visualization. So typically now what people are saying is, why can't we go directly to the data layer without having the Qlik as an engine or Qlik analytic engine in between? Okay. So there was a detailed study that is being done, like what would be the additional cost, or what will be the savings that will come in when you have Qlik engine, which will help to do the same, the context logic and your analytic data before you connect directly to your data sets. So these are the advantages. So basically the result says that like kind of 75% of your data warehouse cost is reduced. So that means repeated query is no more needed. If you still need it, you'll be able to do a direct query or like your scheduled reload. But if you're doing a direct one, you'll be having like a more cost coming in, and faster performance, because when there is a multiple connectivity happening to your interface from your user or from your AI engine, still it will impact your warehouse. Though how big you can scale and all that, that eventually link to your costing. Qlik is pioneer in the in-memory, so it eventually helps a lot in doing your catching and your analytics on the fly, rather than you want to go and ask your query and then come back onto it. Okay, so this is why you need the trusted intelligent layer, or why you need Qlik on it. Between June, July, so we have released multiple agents from the analytic and the data integration stages. So we released Qlik Automate Agent, Qlik Predict Agent, Answer improvement. So we are having a fast mode in Answer. And eventually we are like kind of increasing the MCP tool reasoning and the capability across. So these are the capabilities that got released over, and putting it all together, right? So right now we have around like 10 agents available to all the users who get onboarded to the cloud. So you can see that the darker blue, which is available from the H1 or like kind of a Q1, and the light blues are the one which are released in Q2. So this is across both analytic and the data layer. So people can work together and query their data and get a visualization, create a prediction, do automation, all from the single Qlik Cloud interface itself. Okay. And this is on the MCP. So what is the things that is available in MCP? What are the layers? What are the components that it can go on? So basically we have like 9 categories which can span across 70 plus tools, and it also be available across any of your LLM of your choice. It can be a Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, or some of the customers are having their own MCP clients built on-prem. Everything is available. So all this feature is readily available when you onboard into the Qlik Cloud. Now, when we start showing this to our customers, or when we start presenting it to the customers across the different vertical, across the different capability and all that, people immediately ask me, hey, whatever you guys are saying is on the cloud, but Qlik is not like that. So eventually, we started Qlik as a Qlik view, right? So many of you guys would have remembered this Qlik view screen, how it all started in. And then we had a Qlik Sense, and we had Qlik Sense with more layers, more colors, and now Qlik Sense have improved a lot over a period. But still some of the customers are having a legacy QlikView dashboard. I visited one of a customer who is like kind of in a government agency. They are happy QlikView user. And we are also happy that they are using it, but we feel that kind of they will get more capability when they get into Qlik Sense or when they get into the cloud and all that. So people will be asking me, hey, how do I do it? Should I need to recreate all the charts and all that? We no need to do that. So you have the QlikView tool, QlikView to Qlik Sense converter. Eventually, this will do a one-to-one conversion. So that means whatever you see in QlikView will eventually be available in your Qlik Sense or your Qlik Cloud app. All your data model, all your objects, all your layers, everything will be like one-to-one mapping, and it can be done by partner or customers directly. I'm not going to go deeper onto it, but if you guys needed a specific demo, we can go deeper into it. Now
Ajay,
coming on.
Ajay,
Yeah.
I have a question. If
Yeah.
a user has a hidden script in their QlikView dashboards and they don't have password from it, how it's going to work? Is it going to work at all?
Okay. I need to take this question back.
Okay,
right?
that's all right.
Because yeah, I'll take this question back and I'll come to you, Sergey. Yeah. Okay. Any questions before I can show you guys?
Go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, that's a good one because that's eventually happens. Even like some of my old applications, I forget, and then I don't know how it is happening in. Okay. So if you guys looking at my screen, I'm just going to show you a very simple way what it has happened. Everyone should be aware of the Gulf Coast, our QlikView application, right? So which is one of a very good demo to showcase dashboard analytics and reporting. Okay, so this is my simple dashboard. I'm having it here. And I can start analyzing it here, finding a course. I do all my filters, visualizations, I'm picking it up, and then I will be able to see all the available course and then the report, right? So this is the simple one, which we always do on our demo. And eventually people will say that, hey, okay, how I can have it into Qlik Sense, how I can do it on. Okay, I'm not gonna do end-to-end onto it. So basically I have pre-run the project. I'm gonna show you only the output, what it have happened. So when I run the QlikView to Qlik Sense script, eventually it will create it as a project. It will identify there are 3 sheets, 18 variable. What are the groups? What are the fields? What are the script? Everything it will be identifying. We can see it here. And if there is anything which cannot be converted, or if there is some incomplete dimension, everything it will highlight to you. And also, if there is like kind of a field which is having always one selected attribute or some of the things which cannot go into the cloud, it will show you and it will highlight you what you need to do. And on completing this, once the script run successfully, we will be getting the QEF. Let me share it to you. There you go. So you will be getting the QEF, and the same QEF you can at any point of time you can upload it to the cloud. You can put it into your QlikSense environment, and it will be exactly same as what you will be seeing it here. Okay, so I'm showing you two scenarios here. One, the first one, I'm uploading the app, which is the golf course demo, just as a QlikView dashboard itself. This is the converted one. You can see this as an application. I'm publishing it out, how it is available here. So this is a QlikView dashboard. You can see the tabs on the top, all my screens, all my course filters, whatever is available is up here. I can play around, I can see the course. And this is the converted QlikSense application, which will give me the same 3 sheets. And your dashboard is now converted. Gonna click the find the course. I'm gonna play the data sets. You'll be able to see all the reports, all the QlikView dashboards, whatever I had in is converted, and all my visualizations are available. Okay, so you don't miss anything what you are having, and you will get all the details. So this is basically my map server. I'm not connected to the map server right now, but eventually once you have established every information, your QlikView to QlikSense is completely converted. So people who are in legacy, we are not leaving them. They are still available and they can start using it on. And after the last session, so we had a QlikSense 2026 May release. I'm not going through go through all the points, but a quick one over here. So now you can customize your chart. You can do your layout. You can move your charts, adjust them accordingly. And in your table data exploration, you have more feature, more contents. You can do drag and drop. Like you can see that discount percent, I'm dragging it and moving it to a layer. And all your filters, you can group your filters and you can pin the field to the toolbar so that they act as a filter instead of you explicitly creating a filter. And your visualization, chart visualization, the left, what I'm showing you here is basically how it was previously, all the things by ascending order, alphabetical order. And here it is getting grouped into what are the new objects, what are the legacy objects. So easy for you to pin and easy for you to continue using it on. Okay. If you need more information, what's happening, the link is provided, is available. Later I'll show you on. Now, people say that all is good. So you're talking about MCP, you're talking about AA agents and all that. What happened to our on-prem customer? You said you are converting QlikView to QlikSense. What happening to their on-prem MCP request? Historically, if you want to use MCP or if you want to use any AA capability, we always say that please migrate to the cloud. Build it yourself in the cloud, or like we engage partner to get a connectivity and all that. But now what Qlik is coming to do is with the current scenario, MCP servers will be available to on-prem client managed environment only also. Okay, it doesn't have any license cost. It comes together with your subscription model, and you need to be on the last 3 versions of QlikSense. So eventually when you're in your May or November or May 2025, you'll be able to get this feature. And what this feature right now is looking at, right now we are in the preview mode. If you or your team is interested, you can sign up for the preview on the MCP server for QlikSense client manage. And in the first release or in the preview, we are having like 20 to 30 tool, which helps on discovery, calculation, and selections and all that. And this will be like a standalone installer, and your team will be able to deploy it. It's similar to how we install our QlikSense server, right? Your existing section access, security, everything will be available, and you can connect to your MCP of your choice, and eventually they become interactive. So your on-prem QlikSense is also getting all your MCP capability and AA capability. Right now it is in preview mode. We are looking at a GA in November. So in Q4, when eventually we have our next user meetup group, this should be on GA, and can show you a live demo at that time as well. Sergey, any question on this before I move to the next?
About MCP, AI. No. Okay, good. No, Ajay, no questions. Thank you very much for that. It was a couple of new things I picked up. Thanks for that. I'm always glad to hear what new we've got in Qlik. It's always helpful. Next presenter, Harper, with his presentation.
Tonight I'm going to talk about the impact of the PRIS Act on Qlik Apps. First of all, what is PRIS? PRIS stands for Privacy and Responsible Information Sharing, and it was an act brought in, came into effect on the 1st of July 2026. PRIS sets out rules for how personal information is collected, used, stored and shared for WA public sector entities. Main aim of PRIS is to better protect your personal information as stored by those government entities and improve the responsible sharing of that information. But what if you don't work for the government? Why should you care? Well, any organisations that are paid to a government contract may be subject to the PRIS obligations if that contract stipulates this is so. And I would suggest strongly that they will be stipulated in contracts as we go into the future. The intent and practice of PRIS can also be applied across all organisations. It's not just government entities. Protecting personal information should already be an integral part of your business, and PRIS can help. It has a set of guidelines and rules that will help your business. If you do work for the government, yes, you very much should care. It builds and maintains public trust in government agencies, enables better coordination and information sharing between and within agencies, and last but not least, compliance is mandatory. So yes, you are required to care. On the other hand, to stick, compensation of up to $75,000 for each individual affected by a compliance breach are possible. Government agencies may suffer significant reputational risk if a breach does occur, and they will have increased regulatory scrutiny. But really, the main thing is there's potential harm to individuals due to these breaches. Now, that can be psychological, but also can lead to very unfortunate consequences. So what is personal information, or PI? PI is any information that can identify a person either directly or indirectly. PI is confidential and it must be protected at all times. There's a wide variety of information that can be classified as PI. For example, the name, alias, date of birth, photographs of yourself, your contact information, especially mobile numbers, email address, your postal addresses, and so on. As you can see from the list there, the list is quite extensive, and that's by no means exhaustive. There's another category called sensitive personal information, or SPI. SPI is a special high-risk category that reveals intimate details about a person. SPI is highly confidential and must be strongly protected at all times. Information that is typically classified as SPI are employee medical information, facial images used for facial recognition, fingerprint data, race and ethnic origin, government identifiers such as Medicare numbers, Centrelink numbers, taxable numbers, your employment information such as performance reviews and salary details. Basically, any information that, when combined, reveals sensitive attributes about you as a person. The number of SPI data points within an organisation is typically smaller and more easily identifiable than for PI data. So setting up and managing PI and SPI metadata, it's really not that easy. Determining what is and isn't PI within an organisation takes significant time and effort. Expect arguments, because sometimes it's subjective rather than objective. Some data items are pretty obvious. So, for example, the results from a random drug test, it should be pretty obvious, I hope, that that's SPI. Others are not so obvious. For example, an employee's hire date is personal information. Once you've gone through and set up the metadata for your PI and SPI data elements, then the tough part is to keep that up to date and to make it accessible for the people who need to access it. So what does PRIS have to do with Qlik development? It means that Qlik developers must be aware of PRIS and be able to use the metadata that we described earlier for their organisation to determine if the apps that they are building need to be secured or not. They need to only collect information that is required for the lawful stated purpose of the app, and that you've been given explicit authorization to collect that information. Qlik developers need to apply appropriate security for the apps and for connectors and for generated files across all environments. It's not just something that is happening at production time. When you deploy to production, you must do this as soon as you start development work with apps that contain PI or SPI data. Strongly recommend that you document decisions and approvals as an audit trail, because you never know when you're going to need it. What does PRIS have to do with Qlik end users? Well, end users must be made aware that an app contains PI and or SPI information and to act responsibly with that information. They cannot, for example, take screenshots or download that information to an Excel file and share that with unauthorized people. Now, it could be that they want to do that, download some information from an app, and they're quite within their rights to share it with an authorized person. But they need to be, this needs to be done in an appropriate communication mode. For example, if I downloaded a PDF from Qlik App and I know that it contains PI information, I cannot send that as an email attachment without adding a password to the PDF file as a bare minimum. Typically, you would want to find some other mechanism, like sending it to a secured shared folder, or maybe using your enterprise document management system with appropriate access authority on the document. There are some gotchas. If you have aggregated PI or SPI data, typically this doesn't need to be secured. But what if there's only one of something? What do you do in that regard? So aggregation doesn't necessarily ensure that you no longer have to secure that information. Combinations of different non-PI data may end up being PI or SPI. For example, position title and office location may narrow down to only one person who fits that. So now those two disparate pieces of information have identified only one person. Context matters. If a data item is deemed to be personal information or SPI in one area of the business, does this mean it is PI or SPI in every other area? Who makes the final call? Expect arguments. So, in summary, PRIS is a good attempt to make personal information held by WA government agencies more secure. It's mandatory for all staff, including us Qlik developers within those agencies, to follow the PRIS rules and guidelines. Non-government organisations can benefit from following PRIS as they have similar or the same requirements for securing personal information. If you want further information about PRIS and how to implement it and the rules, then please visit the website as shown on the sheet. Thank you for your attention.
So that was Craig from Western Power. If you have, do you have any questions? Because we can record them and then find the answers. No? Okay. That's good. In this case, we will go to the last presentation for today, which will be mine. My name is Sergey Makushynski, and I'm principal at Qurious Solutions. So first of all is why we may need it. And I would say subtitle kind of gives it away. It says how to make your apps, reports, dashboards, and so on more interactive. So what is a drill through? So the definition from Google says it's a drilling a hole completely through a material from one side to another. But actually in data analytics, it's more about having high-level details and then getting into the detail, high-level summary and getting to the low-level details. So how it may look like, or basically I would say how it doesn't look like quite often. So what do we see quite often? So for example, once I had the pleasure to see an application, it was Power BI dashboard, that it was saying that many days from last recordable injury, that was health and safety. However, there was no way to know what date it was. There was no way to get to know what was the injury, what was the event. So basically, it's just a piece of information that probably useful, but not much. Then even our big players, like for example, Google, that is Google Search Console, they have possibilities to drill through. And for example, it shows some clicks on our website at some point in like long time ago. And I wanted to say, okay, those clicks in Australia 25. I click on Australia 25, and I wanted to say, okay, where are they clicking? So I'm going, or what actually requests were when people were clicking. And when I get into top queries, I'm getting only 5. Honestly, it's not helpful. Like I want to know more about it. So another thing that sometimes you can see it, and this in this case it's a plant maintenance Excel dashboard. Basically, you see the bunch of KPIs. You see some numbers. And in Excel, in a way, you can get down to the detail how it's coming up, but it's not that easy. So you have to trace the formulas, understand where things are, and see, and then maybe see the results. So, but what is the goal? Yeah, how I see that, how I think people should build those applications. Yeah. So that's actually incarnation of the same plant maintenance dashboard, but it was done in Qlik. And it also shows the numbers, and you would say, okay, what is the difference? So the difference is that you can actually click on any of that numbers and get down to the details, get down to the work orders that are making up that number. So I will actually, I have a possibility to show how it works. And I'll just refresh because as usual, the session times out. I will share it here. So this is the app. And let's say you've got 262 scheduled work orders. So you click on this, you get it. So you can actually apply filters here. So go to more details than even it suggests you originally. If you want to see in any other number, you can say, okay, maybe it was done that way. Let's take a look what's going on here. I'm clicking on a random one, and it gives you exactly the same numbers of required hours. And again, work orders is in some details. It's up to the business user to define what details are relevant, or it's up to the discussion, basically, between business user and the Qlik consultant to make it happen. As for ratios, it also works fine because you can see one measure, another measure, their division, and what the ratio is. So basically, it makes things more interactive and much more trustworthy in my case, in my opinion. So the next question, though, is, okay, how to make it happen? And I often, how it works, basically, how things, how we can do those things. And I will refer to the application that I usually use to train people how to do Qlik. And on this screen, where you've got region, customer, cities, and map, I ask a question, right? Is there a way here to tell how many cities, or what are the cities where we've got more than 10 customers? And apparently, I mean, it doesn't look like it's possible, yeah? So how to make it happen? Just because I'm trying to figure out, okay, how many cities, or what are the cities where there are more than 10 customers? How can I do that? I just put the equal sign here, type count, customer, more than 10, hit, I mean, I can see their list already, hit enter, and they are all in Japan. So I answered that question without even doing any development. I just simply put formula into search bar. Actually, it works in Qlik View as well. So it works everywhere. Using this simple principle of smart search, how I call it, we can build basically anything that interactive. And actually, I can show you how it can be done. Let's just duplicate this sheet and make it happen. But in this case, what I did, yeah, there is no object saying how many customers we've got, yeah? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a KPI, or actually button, that would show us how many cities we've got where we've got more than 10 customers, or 11 or 12, it doesn't really matter. And I make it clickable, so you can click on it and get down to the details. Can you hear us? How are you? Maybe
yes, Sergey.
I can
yes, okay. Hear you. Yes, I can see this.
Ajay, can you hear us?
Yes, Sergey, I can hear you. Can see the screen.
Like that. Yes, he can.
I can hear you.
So what do we do here? Let's just first create an object. I will use button. Favorite object. It looks not great originally, but in order to do that, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust the title. So I will count cities. T, yep. Not city code, city. And I'll do it for those cities. So I'm using set analysis here to apply the filter. City equal, then search, and put equal here, count customer more than 10. So basically the same, absolutely the same what I wrote in my search box. Yep. Click apply, and I got 7. So basically I already have the number. Now I can adjust it to make it more visually appealing a little bit. So what this number is about? It is cities, number of cities with more than 10 customers. Yep, and just put, oops, concatenation here. Yep, done, apply. Let's make it a little bit wider and it will work. So this is still hardcore type of things. Why? Because I actually put a formula here and we need to type a lot, I would say. Yeah. So what we can do though here, we can replace this with our measure, because Qlik has got master measures. It's here, master items. And I believe I already have number of customers here. So instead of typing it as formula, I can simply say, I want to know number of customers. It makes things simpler because then you don't need to know formulas. You can just see what measures are available and use them. Still works, it still shows 7. So the next question is how to make it clickable, how to make it accessible to the user, yeah? So, and it is pretty simple. We just need to add an action which would do that for us. So we will call it select, because we need to make a selection. That would be search select. I don't see it from here. Select always matching search criteria. So we need to pick a field that we are going to make search in, and it is, I believe, city in our case. And we just put value here, which is equal. I'll just open this one up. It's much easier to do that. So our search would be number of customers more than 10. I hope it works. Yep. So let's see what happens. If I click this button, it applies selection straight away, right? Easy, isn't it? So then you can say, but now I want pop-up and I want details, yeah? And I want close button as I have it in plant maintenance. And in plant, like, let's just go back quickly here. So here we've got number, we click on it, get details, have a close button, and so on. It's also quite easy to do. We just need to apply a couple of tricks here. So firstly, we are going to use layout container. Layout container, that would be in chart. So while layout container is great because it allows you to stack up things on top of each other, which is easily available in Qlik View, which has been available there for, like, I don't know, for many, many years, but it was absolutely unavailable for a long time in Qlik Sense. I'm glad it was added. So we have this KPI now. Let's just make it a little bit more appealing. So we can have it properties, styling, make it font color. We can do a single color and make it grayish, while background color we can make just white. Yep, we can make it bigger, obviously. Styling, font size fixed. Yep. So we just need to add a new object with the details, isn't it? So, and in this case, it's easy to do. We just create a table, search for table, straight table, add columns like city, customer, add some measures to that. For example, number of invoices, margin, sales, quantity, basically whatever is relevant for us. Yep, so the table is there. We can add it into this object. Yep. It's already there. Not that pretty, but at least something. Straight. So the question is now how to hide it. Yeah. So, and it's all can be done with variables. I already created variable here. It's called show details. It is 0, so I won't do it now. But in the layout container, we have show condition, so we can hide things, and how it can happen. So we can say, right, this object, we will call it details, should be shown where sh details variable is equal 1, and it disappears. Why? Because it's equal 0 at the moment. So, and for this button, we won't change anything about the conditions, but we will add additional action. This action would be show, that would be variable set, var set action variable. Oops. Let's type something and lock the screen. Yep. Variable, select. Sorry, I don't see it. Set variable value, is this one? Yes. So my variable is show details, and I'll set it to 1. Done. So in this case, when you, let's remove that, we click on cities, and it shows us exactly those 7 cities where we've got all those customers. So the last bit is to add close button, which is pretty simple. So we can add another button. We will add an action here, saying variable again, because we need to set it back to 0. Variable, set variable value. Variable is the same show details, and the value is 0. We can call it close. We also need to clear selections because we want clear. Clear, we can do clear all selections. In this instance, it doesn't really matter. Or we can specify a specific field. So I think that's our presentation. We can say it is close. We can actually, I usually don't like how it looks. So that's why I'm saying I want emoji cross. That's the one. So that's why where I am. I'll just say close. Oops. I thought I pasted it. Nope. Didn't copy, it looks like. Sorry. Copy, copied. And then here I say paste. Yes. It looks a little bit better. And we can just do a little bit of styling here to make it a little bit prettier. That would be fixed, and that would be gray, for example, and that would be white. And we can just drop this object into here and place it somewhere appropriately. Whoop. And the only thing we need to add also is show it only when it's appropriate. So close. Done. I think I managed to do it in 5 minutes, maybe 7. How does it look? Easy enough? Yes. I hope for developers it should be. So, right. Let's then, now as we see how it can be done, let's just chat about the why it is still important. Yep, and what is important when you do that. So first of all, when you try to apply and create such things, you need to create and use master measures. Why? Because it simplifies your development a lot. The bare expressions, raw expressions, as I shown, they are working well, but if you need to update some of them later on, that's going to be an issue because it will be hard to find all of them. So your customers, your users will complain about it, that something is not consistent. So the next one, when you trying to do similar things with when your report is interactive, you are trying to show what are the details behind the number you are showing. It's important which field you are going to apply filter on, because it's all about data grain. Sometimes you apply filters to wrong field, and then it just shows different number. So that's why you need to think through how it's supposed to be. And a last one is just make it as friendly, as user-friendly as possible. So if you don't need people to click additional buttons, so then it's easier, it's better. So less clicks, better experience. Yeah. So the design is actually not optional. How things look, always, if things looks great, it's always much better. It's perceived much better, it's implemented much better, and people use it. Last one, the takeaway. So interactive apps is simple. I mean, it's not hard, but you just need to think about it and talk about it. Quite often, the applications are built just simply by specification. So someone sends you Excel spreadsheet and asking, I want the same. And it works until it doesn't, because people, like in Excel spreadsheets, as I mentioned before, it's possible to trace the things down to the details, while in Qlik, it may not be possible unless you create this opportunity. But no one will really ask you for that. So if you don't be afraid to offer that option. Don't be afraid to offer that option in Qlik, in Power BI, in any of the tool. Why? Because, and this is the last thing, this approach actually helps users to understand what is the data, trust the data, love your apps, and ask for more. Really how it is. So, do you have any questions? I forgot to say, this approach can be applied anywhere. It can be plant maintenance, health and safety, finance apps, anything. So it is all about just how to make it user friendly. Nope, no questions. Sounds good to me. So let's finish at this one, and let me just switch to my main presentation here. Up to 3. That's basically where we are at. Right after the end, we will go down to the bar area to have drinks and some food. And quick slide about our committee members. Some of them are here, some of them couldn't make it today. And our next meeting is going to be on 25th of November. And if you want to share anything, if you want something to present, yeah, welcome. Please just raise your hand and reach out to me or to any of the committee members which are there, which are here. Right, thank you very much for joining today, and I hope to see you all next time.
Thank you, Sergey. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ajay. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Marco. That's it.